Welcome, welcome, welcome to the deep dive. I'm really excited about what we're getting into today. You know those moments when you stumble across some wisdom or read something and it just hits you and you think, wow, why has nobody told me this before? Well, that exact feeling is right at the heart of our source material for this deep dive. Today, we are diving headfirst into Dr. Julie Smith's amazing bestseller, Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? I mean, that title alone just grabs you, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It promises something immediately useful.
Yeah, those aha moments we love, especially when they shed light on, how to handle our own minds.
Exactly. And Dr. Julie Smith, she's a clinical psychologist, but she's done something pretty remarkable in how she shares expert guidance. Beyond her clinical work, she's built this huge online presence, reaching millions. Really quite something. So our mission for this deep dive is to really pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge from this book. We want to get a feel for not just what it says, but why it connects so strongly with so many people. And of course, explore the actual practical wisdom it offers for, well, navigating life's challenges, the big ones and the small ones.
Right. And for you listening in, we've designed this deep dive to be your shortcut, essentially. A way to get really well informed on a topic that, let's face it, affects every single one of us. Mental well-being. Our sources today, we've got key excerpts from Dr. Smith's book itself, plus a whole load of reviews and critical acclaim from some really influential places. So whether you're feeling on top of your game right now or maybe navigating something a bit trickier, we genuinely think there are insights here that will click for you, offer a fresh angle, maybe a new tool. Okay, let's zoom in on Dr. Julie Smith first, because she's not just an author, right? She's become this genuine TikTok sensation,
Yeah,
which for a clinical psychologist, that's fascinating, isn't it?
it really is.
What does that actually mean? For someone with her level of expertise to gain such huge popularity on a platform like TikTok, it seems almost unexpected.
It's a really interesting evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the big takeaways here is how she uses these modern platforms, these really fast-paced digital spaces. She makes expert psychological insights incredibly accessible, not just available, but like right there in your feed.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, this kind of knowledge felt, well, locked away, didn't it? In journals or clinics or maybe dense textbooks, felt distant for a lot of people.
Definitely. Intimidating, even.
Exactly. But her presence on platforms like TikTok just shatters those barriers. It fundamentally changes who gets access to mental health support. It sort of democratizes it.
So she's bringing bits of the therapist's office into everyday life.
Precisely. Delivering these digestible, actionable bits of advice right where people are scrolling. And that does something really important. It normalizes talking about mental well-being. It helps strip away some of that stigma that still clings to, seeking psychological help. And it empowers people with tools they might never have come across otherwise. It's a big shift towards being proactive about mental health, not just reacting when things get bad.
It's like she's meeting people right where they are.
Exactly.
Instead of them having to, actively seek out therapy or plow through academic stuff when they're already feeling low, she puts these little gems right in their path, makes it feel less daunting, more immediate, like, oh, I was just scrolling and feeling a bit anxious, and here's something useful.
Right. And the scale of that reach,
Hmm.
it's huge. It's not just a small group she's connecting with. It's global.
Yeah.
That tells you there's a real hunger for this kind of information,
Yeah.
delivered in a way that feels personal and non-judgmental.
Yeah, a sign that people want to engage with this stuff day to day. Hashtag 1.2, the book's unprecedented acclaim and widespread impact. And that amazing reach isn't just online, is it? Her book, Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? It's an absolute powerhouse. Her sources are clear. It's the N01 Sunday Times bestseller. That's not just popular, it's, like you said, a phenomenon. It's really struck a chord.
It certainly has.
And you see its influence spreading far beyond just the bestseller charts, too. It's been featured all over the place in some really big-name publications, which shows its broad appeal, right? We're talking The Observer, Stylist, Evening Standard, Women's Health, Marie Claire, Grazia. I mean, that's quite a list.
It is. And when you look at that big picture, all that media attention, the bestseller status, it's not just about Dr. Julie's success, though that's impressive. It points strongly towards a really significant societal need, doesn't it? Maybe one that wasn't being fully met before. A need for practical, easy-to-grasp mental health guidance. In this complex world, people are actively looking for, well, Tools, tangible things to help them cope and maybe even thrive.
Yeah, definitely searching for something concrete.
And the sheer number and variety of these endorsements, it's compelling evidence. It shows the book isn't just some flash in the pan. It's acting as a kind of foundational resource for so many people. They're finding it genuinely helpful, impactful, life-changing even for some. It really signals this collective shift, I think. Realizing mental health is just as vital as physical health and wanting accessible ways to look after it.
And the endorsements themselves, they really paint a picture of why it connects. Let me read a couple from our sources. Matt Haig, author of Reasons to Stay Alive, he said, "Sound wisdom, easy to gulp down. I'm sure this book is already helping lots of people. Great work, Dr. Julie."
Easy to gulp down.
That's
okay. Interesting phrasing.
It is, isn't it? And Philip Schofield from ITV's This Morning, he described it as brilliant, bite-size, easy to understand, easy to flick through. It's like a reference to how you feel. That last bit, a reference to how you feel, really jumps out. Suggests that immediate usability.
Definitely like a manual.
Yeah. And the Evening Standard, they called her the psychology teacher you wish you'd had at school.
Oh, that's good.
Stylists called it a goldmine. I truly treat it like a handbook now.
Right.
And Lorraine Kelly said, it's real, it's authentic, very practical, and very, very helpful.
Okay, so if we pull back and look at the common threads in all those quotes, what's really fascinating is the consistent emphasis on utility and approachability. You hear easy to gulp down, bite-size, reference, handbook, practical, relatable again and again.
Right.
It suggests that readers aren't just looking for information dump,
Yeah.
They want tools, actionable things they can actually use right away when they need them.
Like a mental first aid kit.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. It's positioned as something you return to, not just read once. That's absolutely key to its success, I think.
Okay, so let's dig into the book's core promise here because it's really compelling. The source material says it's explicitly designed to help navigate life's many ups and downs. That word, navigate. What does that really mean for you, the reader? It's more than just surviving, right?
It implies agency, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like you're actively steering, charting a course, not just being swept along.
Yeah, exactly. And the language also stresses essential and empowering guidance. What is it that makes guidance empowering when we're talking about mental health?
That's a great question.
It feels like it's more than just getting instructions. It's like it equips you, gives you the confidence to handle things yourself.
I think you've hit on something crucial there. The whole concept of secrets from a therapist's toolkit is central.
Yes.
That phrase itself, it's doing some heavy lifting. It's basically saying, look, the stuff psychologists use in therapy, it's not some mystical exclusive knowledge.
Yeah.
It's suggesting these are tangible skills, things anyone can learn, practice, and use effectively.
Okay.
And that's what empowers the reader. Providing concrete skills, not just theories. It shifts the whole perception of therapy, maybe who it's even for.
Right. Makes it less intimidating.
Totally. It transforms it from this perhaps stigmatized one-on-one thing into something much broader, something you can use proactively for your own well-being. It's like getting the owner's manual for your own mind, finally.
The owner's manual.
And then there's the book's explicit aim, to be a must-have handbook for optimizing your mental health. It focuses on simple but expert advice and powerful coping techniques to help you stay resilient no matter what life throws your way.
Stay resilient. That sounds proactive.
Exactly. That language really stresses a proactive approach, not just reactive. It's not only for when you're in crisis, it's about building a stronger inner foundation.
Yeah.
Cultivating this sophisticated but accessible set of internal tools.
Tools you can use when challenges pop up, but also just to strengthen yourself generally.
Precisely, to build your capacity to handle future pressures. It's like building mental muscle,
Yeah.
fortifying your emotional immune system so you don't just weather the storms, you maybe even come out stronger.
Okay, so it's not just an emergency map you pull out when you're lost.
Right.
It's more like a day-to-day guide for the journey, keeping you steady even when things get rough.
That's a really good way to think about it.
And the way this guidance is delivered is pretty novel for a book, isn't it? Our source highlights this structural innovation. Written in short, bite-sized entries, this lets you turn straight to the section you need depending on the challenge you're facing and immediately find the appropriate tools. That's definitely not your typical self-help book you read cover to cover.
No, and what's fascinating here is that deliberate design. It's all about immediate applicability and, frankly, convenience. Think about it. One of the biggest frustrations with traditional self-help books can be trying to find the relevant bit when you're actually in the moment, feeling stressed or low.
Yeah, totally. Flipping through chapters, trying to find the right advice.
Right. Whereas this book is built for speed and direct use, that on-demand aspect. It perfectly suits you, the listener, who wants knowledge quickly and wants to apply it efficiently. It respects your time.
Uh-huh.
And we should also think about the psychological benefit of that format, especially for someone feeling overwhelmed or distressed.
How s-
Well, when you're grappling with intense anxiety, say, or feeling really down, the absolute last thing you need is a long, complex chapter to wade through.
Right, you need something quick and clear.
Exactly. You want clear, concise, actionable steps now. These short, focused entries deliver just that. A targeted solution for a specific problem, without the extra cognitive load of processing tons of background info.
It lowers the barrier to getting help right when you need it most.
Precisely. It makes the tools accessible at the exact moment you might be most vulnerable and need that immediate, practical support. It really is designed like a handbook, like a quick reference guide.
Okay, so we've got this innovative format, this promise of practical tools. What does this actually mean for you in your daily life? Let's zoom in on some of the specific, really relatable challenges the book tackles head on. These are things most of us face, right?
Definitely universal stuff.
First up, managing anxiety. So common today, affects so many people. What the kind of simple but expert advice might be in there to help you actively manage it, not just, suffer through it?
Well, for anxiety, the book likely focuses on strategies that go beyond just symptom reduction. It's probably about understanding your triggers, developing coping mechanisms, and building that resilience long term.
Okay.
For instance, a simple technique it might detail is something like the 3-3-3 rule. Have you heard of that?
I don't think so.
Okay, so when you feel anxiety rising, you just name 3 things you see, 3 things you hear, and then move 3 parts of your body.
Ah, okay. Like grounding yourself.
Exactly. It pulls you into the present moment, away from the anxious thoughts, focusing on sensory input. Simple, but it can really interrupt that spiral. Or maybe it guides you through challenging anxious thoughts, like using a thought record, where you identify the negative thought, note the emotion, and then look for evidence for and against it.
Right.
Helps you find a more balanced view.
Right, practical things you can actually do.
Yes, actionable tools.
Okay, next, dealing with criticism. We all get criticized, right? Work, personal life, even from ourselves. How can a book help you deal with that effectively so it doesn't just crush your confidence?
This is such a vital skill. The book likely offers strategies for evaluating criticism objectively, helping you sort of sift through it.
Uh-huh.
Distinguishing between, say, a personal attack or just unhelpful noise versus genuinely constructive feedback you can learn from.
How would it do that?
It might introduce a kind of criticism filter, like step 1, pause, breathe. Step
Yeah.
2, ask, is there any truth here? Step 3, consider the source, their intent. Step 4, decide act on it or let it go.
Like a little checklist.
Sort of. It helps you process it without immediately taking it personally.
Mhm.
Protects your self-worth while still being open to growth. It's about shifting from defense to discernment.
I like that. Then there's battling low mood. Beyond just a bad day, how does this book help with those more persistent low moods when everything just feels heavy?
For low mood, the practical solutions likely draw from things like behavioral activation and cognitive restructuring. Sounds complex, but the book probably breaks it down. Behavioral activation is basically about encouraging small actions to break inertia. Like, the book might suggest a 15-minute rule. Just commit to doing something, anything, for 15 minutes, even if you don't feel like it.
Just 15 minutes.
Yeah. Often, just starting is the hardest part. That 15 minutes can sometimes shift things, give you a little boost. And cognitive restructuring, that's about learning to challenge those negative thought patterns that keep you stuck in a low mood.
Like questioning your thoughts.
Exactly. The book might offer prompts like, what's the evidence for this thought? Or, is there another way to look at this? But crucially, in that digestible format. Simple steps, so it's not overwhelming when you're already low on energy.
Makes sense. Okay, building self-confidence, foundational stuff. What kind of tools would a therapist's toolkit offer for that?
Yeah.
Confidence can feel so slippery.
It can feel elusive, yeah.
Yeah.
But building confidence often involves breaking it down, turning that big goal into manageable actions. So the book would likely give actionable steps, maybe focusing on mastery experiences.
Mastery experience.
Yeah, identifying and celebrating small wins, completing a task you've put off, learning a simple new skill. Each little success builds on the last, reinforcing that I can do this feeling.
Okay, small steps.
Small steps. And maybe practicing positive self-talk, actively replacing that inner critic with more affirming statements, like instead of I'm useless, guiding you towards I'm learning, I'm capable, I'm moving forward.
Right, reframing.
Yeah, recognizing strengths you might overlook, gradually pushing your comfort zone.
All right, finding motivation. Another big one, especially when you're feeling down or just stuck. What's the secret there in these bite-sized entries?
Well, finding motivation often ties back to overcoming that initial inertia, like we talked about with low mood, but also connecting actions to your core value.
Values.
Yeah, the book might guide you to ask, what really matters to me here?
Mm.
What outcome aligns with who I want to be? Connecting tasks to deeper meaning can be really motivating.
Mm.
It might also suggest task chunking, breaking huge tasks into tiny steps. Need to organize the whole house. Just start with clear one shelf. Makes
Right.
it feel doable, builds momentum.
Less overwhelming.
Exactly. And setting realistic expectations. It's about sparking that initial drive and keeping it going through manageable efforts.
Okay, last one here, and it feels really deep. Learning to forgive yourself. This seems crucial, but often ignored. Why is self-forgiveness so important, and how can a handbook tackle something so complex?
Oh, it's absolutely vital. Because carrying around unresolved guilt or shame or self-blame, it's incredibly heavy. It can fuel low mood, anxiety, keep you feeling stuck, unworthy.
Yeah, I can see that.
So this section would stress self-compassion, helping you acknowledge mistakes or failures without beating yourself up, and then truly letting go, moving forward with acceptance.
How? What would that look like practically?
It might offer tangible exercises,
Mm-hmm.
like a self-compassion break. Acknowledge your suffering, recognize suffering is universal, then offer yourself kindness, like you would a friend. Or maybe guide you through reframing the narrative around past events, seeing mistakes as learning opportunities, accepting that imperfection is just part of being human.
Yeah.
Guiding someone through that in a practical handbook means offering clear, gentle steps, acknowledge, accept responsibility without judgment, and cultivate a kinder inner voice. It's a profound internal shift, vital for long-term mental health. Building a better relationship with yourself, really, hashtag 3.2, the promise of transformative practicality.
So we've looked at all these specific challenges and the types of solutions, but the source material makes this really big claim, doesn't it? It says the book tackles the everyday issues that affect us all and offers easy, practical solutions that might just change your life.
Change your life. That's quite a statement.
It is bold, but the power of easy and practical shouldn't be underestimated here, especially when it comes to personal change.
Okay.
It's not about complex theories you need years to understand. It's about immediate, actionable steps anyone can grasp and implement pretty much right away.
The life-changing part. I think that comes from the consistent application of these seemingly small tools.
Oh, the consistency.
Exactly. Individually, maybe each entry offers just a small shift, a new perspective, a simple behavior. But collectively, when you apply them regularly over time, these small shifts compound.
Like interest in a bank account.
Kind of. Compounding interest for your mental well-being. They add up to significant transformative changes in how you feel, how you cope, your overall resilience. It empowers you, the listener, by putting effective strategies right in your hands. Makes big changes feel accessible, achievable.
It's the cumulative effect then. Small deposits of wisdom leading to a big return over time.
Precisely. Each practical solution builds on the last, creating this positive cycle of better habits, effective coping, leading to a more robust, self-aware you. It's not a magic wand, but it's a sustainable path to real internal change.
Okay, let's shift focus a bit to the book's voice, because that seems really key to why it connects so strongly with so many different people. The endorsements capture this interesting dual identity, don't they? She's described as both the wise best friend and the therapist sitting across from you. Your magazine said it was. Relatable, real, and easy to digest, as if your wise best friend is chatting to you. An essential mental health Bible for adults and teenagers. And Nicole Aparo know how to do the work, author, she added. If you want to feel like you have a therapist sitting across from you, empowering you with how to be your best self, this book is for you.
Yeah, and what's really powerful there, I think, is how the book manages to be both things at once. Highly authoritative, grounded in solid clinical expertise.
Right, you trust the source.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's deeply personal and approachable. And that combination, it's incredibly effective for this topic. It builds trust, but it also dials down the intimidation factor that sometimes comes with clinical advice.
Yeah, it doesn't feel cold or distant.
No. Readers feel they're getting expert insights, properly validated stuff, but delivered with warmth, empathy, relatability.
Yeah.
It feels less like a lecture, More like a genuine conversation with someone who gets it.
No one cares.
Right. And that creates this powerful connection. It makes the knowledge feel like it's really for you, tailored to you.
It's like the best of both worlds, isn't it?
I'd-
Solid knowledge, but without the jargon or the emotional distance. Lori Gottlieb, another great author and therapist, she summed it up beautifully, saying Dr. Julie is smart, insightful, and warm. Dr. Julie is both the expert and wise friend we all need.
That really nails it. That blend is clearly a huge part of its impact. Tag 4.2, the aha moment and wide accessibility.
And this kind of brings us full circle, doesn't it? Back to our show's promise of delivering those aha moments. The title itself, Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? It perfectly captures that feeling, right? That sudden flash of clarity. When something complex suddenly clicks and becomes simple, actionable.
And Matt Haig's phrase, sound therapeutic wisdom that is easy to gulp down.
Okay.
Let's unpack that easy to gulp down bit.
Yeah.
Why is that so critical? For absorbing these potentially complex psychological ideas, especially when you might be feeling vulnerable or just need quick clarity.
Good question.
Well, it's critical because it ensures the knowledge actually sticks.
Yeah.
And importantly, that it can be applied immediately without needing huge mental effort.
Right. It bypasses resistance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes learning feel effortless, which massively boosts retention and, crucially, implementation. When ideas are presented that clearly, that simply, they become intuitive. You can integrate them into your coping strategies almost instantly.
Yeah.
And Jay Shetty's comment reinforces this too. I'm blown away by her ability to communicate difficult ideas with ease, simplicity, and practicality. Amazing.
Yeah.
It highlights this unique skill the book has, simplifying profound truths without losing their power or nuance, distilling the essence, which does raise an important question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In our world, just saturated with information, constant data, advice, how vital is it for expert knowledge to be delivered with that kind of clarity and immediate usefulness?
Hugely important, I'd say.
Right. It's not just about having access to info anymore. It's about being able to actually process it, internalize it, and use it to make a real difference in your daily life. This book nails that. It makes deep psychological concepts feel intuitive and empowering for everyone.
It's like she cuts through all the noise, all the academic speak, to give you exactly what you need right when you need it. A gift of clarity, really.
Precisely. You could argue it's the ultimate antidote to information overload when it comes to looking after your own mental well-being.
And just like that, we're nearing the end of another deep dive. Wow, what a journey into Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? By Dr. Julie Smith. We've really explored that unique blend, haven't we? Her clinical expertise combined with this incredibly accessible delivery, truly bridging that gap between professional wisdom and, well, us in our everyday lives.
Yeah, the bridging is key.
We've seen how the book works as this practical, bite-sized toolkit, designed for immediate use. Just turn to the bit you need right now. And we dug into its focus on those universal challenges we all face. Anxiety, criticism, low mood, confidence, motivation, even self-forgiveness really covers the spectrum. It's crystal clear why this book has hit home for so many and become such a huge phenomenon.
Absolutely. And maybe, as you reflect on everything we've talked about, here's a final thought to chew on.
Yeah.
If this book genuinely is a handbook for how you feel, what are the very first pages, the first challenges, you might instinctively turn to in your own life right now to apply some of these insights?
Ooh, good question.
How might just one single bite-sized entry, one piece of advice from this kind of resource, maybe shift your perspective or your approach to something you're dealing with this week? Because the real power, ultimately, isn't just knowing this stuff exists. It's in the courageous, consistent application of it.
Exactly. That one specific thing you might be facing right now, imagine turning to that page, finding that one actionable nugget. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We truly hope these insights haven't just informed you, but maybe sparked a few significant aha moments of your own, moments that could genuinely make a difference. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.